as New York City works to slow the spread of COVID-19 in the hopes of soon fully reopening. Mayor Bill de Blasio has banned all large public gatherings, except for Black Lives Matter protests.
We understand at this moment in history, people are talking about the need for historic changes. This is a historic moment of change. We have to respect that.
Big crowds at any protest you would think would be a perfect recipe for spreading COVID-19. However, mainstream media would have you believe otherwise. They say that protests are not causing the spread of the coronavirus, whereas Trump rallies, they seem to indicate, do.
Massive protests in New York City and around the country. Some doctors warned a spike in coronavirus cases could follow, but that didn't really happen.
A new study suggests that recent Black Lives Matter protesters have not led, or the protests themselves have not led to a spike in new cases.
Health officials warned against the rally, but President Trump said we have to move on.
This is all a little bit odd. It's unclear why the virus would seem to have a political bias, favoring some big gatherings over others. Mayor de Blasio's efforts to sit on both sides of the fence, accommodating those afraid of COVID-19 by implementing harsh measures on the one hand, while letting Black Lives Matter do their thing on the other hand, doesn't seem to be working out very well for him. His critics argue that the black community, which has been disproportionately hit by COVID-19, should be discouraged, not encouraged, to protest. They even point to the First Amendment.
Let me get this right, Mayor de Blasio. Fairs, parades, tennis matches banned for public safety. Mayor, statistically, the group disproportionately affected by the virus is accepted and allowed to congregate and protest. You advocate exposing them to increased risk. Hypocrite.
How does that make any sense? I'm all for BLM protests, but if they can proceed, so can other events. Viruses don't care about social conflicts.
Bill, saying that BLM protests are okay, but other gatherings are prohibited sounds like censorship to me. This type of speech or assembly is okay, but that kind isn't.
Let's remember that New York City's Mayor Bill de Blasio presents himself as a big supporter of Black Lives Matter. He even painted the words Black Lives Matter on the street in front of Trump Tower. That was a symbolic move that not all locals were happy with.
This mayor is promoting division and hatred, and he did this because he hates the president, and he did it out of spite. But we have a mayor who doesn't care about you, me, the African-American community. He lets them rot on the street. He's done nothing to help them.
I think it's a joke. It's beautiful, but he's trying to play both sides of everything. He won't pass no reforms or nothing. This is like hand this. The statue, all that is a joke.
It doesn't help their cause. It doesn't help their power.
Mayor Bill de Blasio seems to be in a pretty rough spot. His attempt to sit in two chairs has got a lot of other people standing up in anger. Caleb Maupin, RT, New York.